So here's some follow-up questions for you guys from our lessons from yesterday. A couple questions on blueprints and also a few questions on dimmers. So this first two questions are in regards to this picture here. There are some reasons why we might choose to do dimming. That's going to be our first question. What are some reasons? I believe we talked about 3, but I'm asking for 2. And the second question, what are 2 things we must consider when choosing a dimmer? So there were some choices that have to be made in regards to dimmers. So what are those choices? 2 of them. This next slide has a couple more questions. I've got the tabs circled there on the side of the dimmer. And the first question is when those tabs are removed, does that change the dimmer in any way? Is there some different characteristics that it has that we need to be aware of? And does it function and work differently when those tabs are removed? And number 4, can I put 2 dimmers in a double device box if those tabs are in place? So the way that dimmer is pictured right now, could I put another dimmer next to it in a double device box? Question 5 is relatively simple. I've got a dimmer here and I have 2 wires installed on it. One's the hot and one is the switch leg, and I would like to know how many locations will this dimmer allow a load to be switched from. So on the right hand side of this slide I've got my non-metallic device box. I've got my hot identified, my switch leg identified, I've got my neutrals wire nutted, and I've got my dimmer over there on the left. But before I install the dimmer, is there one important step that I should do before installing that dimmer? So here's another question. I've got a device box set up on the right hand side and I've got some wires installed in there. 2 blacks, a red, and I've got my neutrals all wire nutted ready to go. So this installation's been roughed in and we're back trimming out this house, putting in the devices. So what type of dimmer will this be? This slide's in regards to our discussion we had in regards to blueprints. I've got 2 questions. Number 8 is what page is this? There's a specific name we talked about yesterday. And also number 9, there's some lines up here at the top and there are some numbers associated with those lines. What is the purpose of those lines and those numbers? What is the name of that? Here's our last questions, number 10, number 11. What's the name of this part of the blueprint? And number 11, would this help us locate light fixtures on the front of the garage? So if we had to put some lights there or there, could we possibly find those on this plan? Or maybe we're going to put a light there.